Buying a new iPhone is something special and exciting, but all the joy can be wiped out by a wrong phone setup. And you will end up with a feeling that something's missing, something's not there. I've been using iPhones for quite some time and I got something to recommend. Follow my instructions to avoid common mistakes and get the iPhone experience in all its glory. Whether you are a new iPhone user or a long-term owner, I advise you to set it as a new one without restoring from the backups. This way you get the proper feeling of a new phone and not just changing shells. Set it up as new. It just feels better, trust me. If you've purchased your iPhone not in the official store, I recommend you check the body for possible openings. Look at screws and seams. Everything must be in its original condition. The glass should be scratch-free and the body must feel sturdy. If you see any imperfections, just go back and take another one. Such situations rarely happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Right? As soon as you power on the iPhone, you're greeted with the hello screen. Swipe up, choose the language and region, click setup manually, next connect to Wi-Fi, wait for activation to complete, then set up Face ID, follow the instructions on the screen to register your face, now set a passcode. The following step is moving data from an old phone. You can restore from the iCloud, Mac, another iPhone, Android phone, or skip transfer completely. Click on the option you consider suitable and follow the instructions, but remember, transferring from Android takes time and requires downloading a special app to your old Android device. Additionally, if you already have an iPhone, restoring from backup will just mirror your old phone. I recommend setting it up manually and then signing into iCloud so all the photos and passwords get downloaded. This way you get only the necessary files without junk and old items from an old phone. The next step is creating an Apple ID. If you already have one, just enter its data. If not, click on Forgot Password or Don't Have an Apple ID. The registration process is similar to any registration you've encountered in your life, so I'm sure you won't get lost. All that's left is agreeing to terms and conditions, click and continue a few more times, and boom, you're done. The initial setup is complete. Before we start tweaking minor things, let's address the most important thing: theft protection. Go to Apple ID settings, click on Find My, and turn on Find My iPhone. This way, if you ever lose your phone or it gets stolen, you will be able to locate it, remotely erase it, or display a message on the screen with your contact details. This step is crucial, never forget about it. Let's start less crucial setup tips with the screen. Since you will be looking at it 100% of your time using your phone. The screen is the most power-hungry component, especially if we're talking about the iPhone 14 Pro with its gorgeous display that goes up to 2000 nits of brightness. To compensate for such impressive numbers, you need to change a few settings here and there. If you want to fully experience the novelty of an iPhone 14 Pro called Always On, just keep it turned on. The phone will discharge faster, but the looks can be worthy. To improve battery life, I advise you to tweak background app refresh, which can be found in General. Then choose which apps you want to update in the background. I'm not saying this feature is useless, but it drains the battery like crazy. Always being up to date in all apps is great, but it's not a crucial pillar of the iPhone experience. The battery life will be better after this adjustment. The same goes for location services. A lot of apps want to track your location, even those who have no reasons for that. Just turn it off for any app you think shouldn't have such info. There is no need for a food delivery app to know your location at any moment in time. Now let's go to notifications and toggle a few switches. Notifications have always been a problem, and not because of the way they're presented, but because of the sheer amount of them. Games, maps, music apps, everyone is attacked with notifications, most of which are totally irrelevant. Leave notifications only for social media, messengers, and mail. Only the important stuff should remain. Okay, we have successfully turned off a couple of things. Doesn't seem like an improvement and unlocking all the power. Then you should look at focus. Setting up focus is probably the best thing you can do to make yourself more productive. Focus helps mute all unnecessary notifications or calls so nothing will distract you. You can set up to 10 focus modes for various scenarios like work, studying, cinema, sleep, weekends, etc. Each focus mode allows specifying who can contact or call you when when this mode is enabled and which apps can send notifications. Additionally, you can choose whether the silence notifications will be shown on lock screen, which I find really useful. But probably the best thing about focus modes is the ability to customize lock screen, main pages, and Apple Watch watch faces depending on the focus mode. It can be simply another wallpaper or a full renovation with different widgets and apps. What about that dynamic island? Can you customize it? Well, yes, but actually no. This feature is locked and cannot be turned off, and no alterations can be done to it. However, if you want some degree of personalization, you should try Pet Island. Just look at how cute this cat is. Not enough fun for you? How about Hit the Island? This game is basically Pong, but your opponent doesn't move. I'm sure soon there will be more interesting apps that use this island to its full potential, but that's all for now. It seems like all the obvious settings are done, but not quite. The camera. That's where we have numerous options that require tweaking. First, you should set the format to most compatible. This setting will make all photos and videos come out as standard JPEGs or H.264, which will make editing and interacting with them much easier. The iPhone 14 Pro has the biggest resolution ever in an iPhone, so if you intend to shoot something professionally or need to get all the details possible, you should turn on ProRAW at 48 megapixels. Yes, it will consume 30 times more space, but the quality of final images will be excellent. You'll get crisper shots with better detailization, colors, and texture preservation. For real-life day-to-day photos, ProRAW can be easily turned off from the camera app, so just use it when needed. Again, I can't recommend shooting RAW all the time, leave it for special occasions. As for video, turn on Apple ProRes if you also want your videos to feature even higher dynamic range and better colors. If not, then leave it off. The camera on iPhone 14 Pro is pro level, but you should decide for yourself when to use these advanced capabilities. One more thing, settings preservation. The iPhone automatically resets all settings to default ones each time you close the camera app. If you don't want this to happen, go to Camera, preserve settings, and turn everything on. This way, all settings from the last session will stay the next time you open the app. There are some inconveniences to this, but if you shoot a lot, you may find settings preservation useful. In the camera app, turn on live photos. Live photos are surely a questionable thing to do, but they allow capturing the moment in a short, 3-second video. This feature is more storage hungry, but it's well worth it if you are shooting people or animals. Plus, you can easily convert those photos into videos. Personally, I use it in dynamic situations to capture live action. To make typing more pleasant, go to keyboard settings and turn on haptic feedback. This way, every time you type, you will get a pleasing vibration. It will decrease your battery slightly, but the new sensation is well worth it. For me, it's a great thing that makes using this phone so much more tactile and rich. Now, to the battery settings. Open Settings, Battery, and turn on Optimize Battery Charging. This way, your phone will charge intelligently while preserving the longer battery health. Answer this. Are you planning on charging your new iPhone with your old power adapter? It's not a good idea. Charging your new expensive iPhone with a cheap or old adapter will 99.9% damage the battery. This rule does apply to all iPhones, not only the 14 Pro. New iPhones require at least 20 watts for fast charging, and not every manufacturer can meet all the requirements when it comes to output power. I charge all my phones with this Ugreen Nexode 140-watt charger. I didn't have any problems with it. Moreover, this charger is much more convenient, especially if you have more than one device. You don't need to use 2 or 3 big chargers that come with it. Just look at my 140-watt Apple charger. It's a brick. Instead of these adapters, you can get just one from Ugreen and charge multiple devices at once. It's a GAN adapter, which means you don't have to worry about the battery life in your laptop. The Ugreen power dispenser system intelligently adjusts the power output to protect your product's battery so it will last longer. To protect your charger from overheating, the thermal guard system takes 200 temperature readings every second. The unit has 2 USB-C ports and a USB-A port supplying up to 132 watts of power, which in turn is allocated again depending on the type of your device. So you can charge 2 laptops and 1 smartphone or any other device at max speed without any problems. As a speed example, you can charge your 16-inch MacBook Pro from 0 to 56% in just 30 minutes. So 1.6 times faster than a 65-watt charger. The cutting-edge PD 3.1 protocol of the Nexode charger allows max charging levels you previously could only imagine. To learn more about the Ugreen Nexode 140-watt charger, click the link in the description below. In battery settings, turn on battery percentage. This way you will see the actual battery charge at all times. Personally, I do like it since I use my phone all day long, and being aware of its charge helps always be online. Shortcuts on iPhone is another great feature to try. Shortcuts allow you to streamline certain processes like converting images to different formats, applying filters to them, sending messages, and much more. Additionally, shortcuts can launch apps, which can be great for customization since you can assign an icon to the shortcut, but more on that later. Shortcuts allow automating even already quick tasks like direction planning. You can create a shortcut that on one tap will create a route home. You can play random music, specific albums or playlists, etc. Apple actually offers some scripts and shortcuts by default, so glance at them if you can. Plus, we'll leave a couple of our favorite shortcuts in this video description. Okay, now, when we're done with boring stuff, let's do something fun. Would you like to change your icons from colorful to something minimalistic? Or do you want empty spaces between apps? Or do you want to change system fonts? You can do anything. Okay. App icons. Open Shortcuts, choose Scripting, open App, select the app you want, then click on the blue button with 3 lines in the right top corner, add to the home screen, choose the icon from Photos or Files, and click Add. Unfortunately, you have to do it manually for each app, but the results can be amazing. The app called Clear Spaces allows creating custom-sized, transparent widgets that occupy space on your home screen but serve no purpose, just an empty space. Some people love that, but I'm not one of them. Next, if standard widgets don't cut it for you, there are numerous apps like Widgy or Widgetsmith that allow creating unique-looking widgets from scratch. It seems to me that those are all things you should do as soon as you get your hands on this iPhone. Maybe you've known them, maybe not, but I hope you found something useful here today. If you are a careful viewer, you may ask me, why are you using the iPhone 14 Pro when you have decided to sell it? I did want to sell it, get rid of it, and bring back my good old 13 Pro, but the strangest thing has happened. It started growing on me. I put it in its box and started using my old phone, but something didn't feel right. Maybe the dynamic island was not my favorite feature, but I kind of missed it. That feeling of being on the technological edge is really great, and 13 Pro, despite being an amazing phone, doesn't give you that feeling anymore. And I decided to step back a little, weigh all pros and cons. Do I really want to sell it, or should I give it a second chance? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Until next time, see you in the next one.